All right, in this video, we are going to learn how to correct our homework. And so just a little bit about the procedure. We're going to create a slideshow that has just homework solutions to it. And the first slide will be this, which is the procedure for correcting your homework. So you're going to correct your homework, or excuse me, correct your exit ticket using the slide or video tutorial. So for each homework assignment, we'll have an answer key where we show the work, and then you can also watch a video if you like. You're going to identify the type of error you made, whether it's an accuracy, a reading, or an understanding error. And then you're going to correct the error in a different color and then score it. So did you meet standard? Are you approaching beginning? Today we're going to practice with two homeworks, okay? The first homework is going to be strategies for finding area, and then decomposing area. And for me, it's going to be under August 17th through the 21st, and I think Miss Carmen, it will be week 3 for her in Google Classroom. And then so let's just review really quick here. This is our homework rubric, and basically our goal is to get exceeding standard. If we're practicing exceeding standard on our homework, we're going to get exceeding standard on our exams or our assessments. So if you are at exceeding standard, you have completed all the problems on the page. You took everything that happened in your head and recorded it on the page. So you explained, you labeled, you showed any mathematical equations that you did in your head, you got them on the page. And then it's neatly written. It doesn't have to be pencil, of course. And then you identified the type of error and you corrected it. So meeting standard, all problems are complete. Most thinking is shown. And then some answers, like maybe you got most of what happened in your head on the page, but you're forgetting some labels maybe, or you forgot to show some work for some of the equations that you did. And you've identified the type of error, but you haven't necessarily corrected it. Okay, and then the difference between attempting, beginning, and approaching is really the amount of problems. So let's pick a simple kind of example, but if we had 4 problems and you did half or more, so you did 2 or 3 of the problems, you could be in this approaching category. Most of the work is shown, and you've got some labels and explained. So really, the bottom part is the same for both meeting and approaching, but it's really the amount of work done here that's different. For attempting and beginning, well, attempting, it says fewer than half. So you did maybe you did less than 2 problems, because that would be half. And for attempting, it was 1 out of 4 problems. Here, little work's shown. Here, no work is shown. And you didn't bother to correct your errors here, okay? So now, if we move on to reading, understanding, and accuracy errors. So remember, making a mistake is actually good because it means our brains are working hard, but then we want to correct them so that we don't keep making the same mistake. So reading is, I read the problem incorrectly, and because of that, I got it wrong. Understanding means I really did not understand some part of the concept. And I need to use a totally different strategy or operation. Accuracy is just a simple error. I like to call these brain farts. And if we look at this next slide here, okay, we've got, this is how it'll be laid out. So you're going to have the title at the top. You're going to have the date in case you're having trouble finding it in Google Classroom. And then the title of the assignment. So we're going to look at decomposing area first. And then here's the procedure, just to remind you. And then here's the video tutorial that I spoke of. I'm going to let you watch that on your own if you'd like to. But just for the sake of this, I'm going to show you, we're going to use the answer key that's just copied right on the page. So we had to explain the difference between composing and decomposing a shape and use an example. So I'm going to look at mine for this. So I just put both of them on one page to make it easier. So explain the difference between decomposing and composing a shape. The difference between decomposing and composing is that decompose is to take something apart, compose is to put something together. So let's look here. Composing a shape is to put 2 smaller shapes together, taking 2 smaller shapes and adding them together to a bigger shape. I think I got it. Take something or put something together. Yep. Decompose is taking a larger shape and taking it apart. we got that, taking it apart. But I noticed that there's two parts to this problem. I had to explain them, and then I had to give examples, and I'm missing my examples. So right now, I can tell that I'm not going to hit meeting proficient or meeting standard because I didn't do all of the problems. Now, because I didn't actually do this, I don't know if it was a reading error or not, but for the sake of this video, we're going to pretend this is a reading error. Reading, forgot to include an example. Okay. So, and then I need to correct that error. I correct that error by including an example. So if we look at this one, the shape, I am putting the shape back together. So this is compose. And my next one is going to be decompose. Decom. Easy for me to say. And so I took the shape and I broke it apart. That's decompose. So now I'm going to go back through my checklist because I got a few things to do. And this is the first time I'm going through and really doing it. So I want to make sure I'm doing it right. So did I correct my exit ticket? Yes. Did I identify the type of error? Yep, reading. Did I correct the error in a different color? Yes. And did I score my work? Oops. No, I did not. So let me go back to my rubric here. So we said it can't be meeting. Now, did I do fewer than half or did I do half or more? Well, I did half or more because I did a really good job on the first part. I just didn't do the second part. So this is going to be approaching. So that's the last step. Did I score it? Yes, approaching. Okay. Now, I'm going to go down to, I will actually just say that if you are doing the optional challenge problems, then we will have these on here as well. There's not a video for those, but it shows the solution. So if you did those challenge problems, take a moment and check your challenge problem. And notice that at the top, it also says decomposing area just to keep you on track. And now we're going to move on to strategies for area. Okay, and on this one, if I look here, I see that I had to find the area of the shaded regions and explain and show my reasoning. Okay, I can see right here that I've done a good job of showing my work. But when I look closely, I see 30, and here I see 15 centimeters squared. Okay, so I see I've got an error. Now I've got to make sense of that error. So if I look here, I basically took 3 times 5 and got 15. And then I added that twice to get the area. But what I see is that that Miss Willie rearranged, she decomposed this shape and then rearranged it to create a rectangle. And if I were to think about that rectangle for just a minute here, then if I say a rectangle is 3 by 5, then if that's the case, basically if that's the case, then one triangle is not 15 because this whole surface area is covered in 15 squares. So one triangle is actually half of that. So when I put 2 triangles together to form a rectangle, then my area is 15 for the total rectangle. So I'm going to come in here and break down the different parts here. So what type of error is this? Okay, well, I thought I could find the area of the triangle by multiplying 3 times 5. So I actually have an understanding error here. And, and so I'm going to say 2 triangles make 1 rectangle. And the area of the whole rectangle is 3 squares by 5 squares, which equals 15. And I got to get cm squared in there. And I'm just going to write cm. Actually, I'm going to write the word squared. So what was that supposed to be? Is. Okay, so the area of the whole rectangle is 3 by 15, which is 15 centimeters squared. So one rectangle, or no, excuse me, I thought one rectangle was 15. Okay, so actually one rectangle would be 7.5 for the area because it's only half of our rectangle. So now let's go back in and see what score I'd give myself for this one. So if I go back and I look, I can see that why aren't you letting me go there? Oh, come on. Okay, here we go. So let's see. I did all the problems. Yep. And did I show all of my thinking? I did show all of my thinking. Did I label and explain all of my problem? Well, I explained it, I think, but what I didn't do is I forgot my label for my the 30 should have been 30 cm squared like this. Okay, so I forgot a label. And I corrected that now. And then I also identified and corrected my error. So the reason I can't get exceeding on this one is not because I made the error, but because I forgot to label. Okay, so this would be a meeting standard example. Okay, and there we go. So, and that's it. Now I've corrected this one, and I could go and take a look at the example or the challenge problem and take a moment and correct that as well. And then now you need to go to Google Classroom and take the area checkup. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.